up, guys? In this video I'm going to teach you how to play Ask Me How I Know by Garth Brooks, originally written by Mitch Russo. I don't remember how to pronounce his last name, but he's really good and it's a great song. I play it in half-step down tuning because that's the way it's played on the studio version by Garth Brooks. And you also drop the low E string down to a C sharp, so I guess it'd be drop C sharp tuning. In other words, C sharp, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. If you want to get your guitar tuned first, so yours sounds like mine, you can play it in standard later if you want. Chords you're going to be using are going to be a D suspended second, and you're going to play that with an open E, open A, open D, 2nd fret G, 3rd fret B, and you want to mute the high E string so it doesn't ring out. Next is going to be a variation of a B minor 7th. That's the 2nd fret of the A string, 2nd fret G string, and 3rd fret B string. And in this case, you're going to want to lightly touch the low E string so it doesn't ring out. You can either do that by pushing with your index finger just a little higher up so it touches the low E string, or you can use your thumb to wrap around and lightly touch it so it doesn't ring out. D string is open, and again the high E string is muted. Next chord is going to be a variation of a G. Since we're in that drop C sharp tuning, that's going to be the 5th fret of the low E string and the 3rd fret of the B string. Keep the high E muted, and with your ring finger over here, lightly touch the A string so it doesn't ring out. And then the last chord we're going to be using, at least for the intro, is going to be an A suspended 4th. The way I play that is I use my index finger to bar the 2nd fret of the D, G, and B string, and I put my ring finger or my pinky on the 3rd fret of the B string. So, those are the chords we're going to worry about right now. The intro is played like this. So we're going to start the intro with the D suspended 2nd chord. I use my pinky on the 3rd fret of the B and my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. You're going to palm mute over here, so with your picking hand, rest your palm right over the bridge on those low strings. So they're muted, but you still get the notes ringing out. So what you're going to do is strum down, up, down, and I'm focusing on the E, A, D, and G strings when I do this. I don't worry so much about the B string. And then I'm going to strum down again, but this time I'm going to put my index finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. I'm going to strum down and then pull off so it's open. After I do that pull off, I'm going to strum down, up again, then up, down, and then I'm going to do another down strum. This time I'm going to move my index finger to the 2nd fret of the A string, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the D string. I'm going to strum down and then pull off. So. And then another down up strum. A little bit slower. That's how you play the intro. Next part up is going to be the verse, and that's where we're going to use the 4 chords I talked about in the beginning of this video. This is how it sounds, or at least the first playthrough. Stubborn as they come, you'll never settle down. You'll always be the one that doesn't stick around. And then you repeat. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with that D suspended 2nd chord, and I'm still palm muting like I did in the intro, and it's going to go down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up. That's going to be the strumming pattern for each chord. So again, down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up, and then you switch. Next chord is going to be that variation of the B minor 7th. Again, 2nd fret A, open D, 2nd fret G, 3rd fret B. Same strumming pattern, keep it muted. So from first chord to second. Then we're going to switch to G. Again, 5th fret, low E, mute the A, open D, open G, 3rd fret B, mute the high E string. Again, we're going to mute all of these strings again, and then play the same strumming pattern. So after that, we're going to go back to the D suspended 2nd, but you're going to transition to the A suspended 4th chord in between that measure. So it sounds like this. Still the same strumming pattern, but you switch in between. So you start with the D suspended 2nd, and you're going to strum down, 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 and then you're going to strum up. But when you strum up is when you switch to that D suspended 2nd chord. So, and then you're going to go back to up, up, down, 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 up. If it makes it any easier, when I play this D suspended 2nd, I switch and I use my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string and my index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. So that way when I go down, 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 and I switch, all I have to do is really push my index finger down on the other strings to get that A suspended 4th. And then up, up, down, 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 up. And this progression altogether is played throughout the verse. So again, I'll play a little bit slower and try to keep up if you can. So that's how you play the verses. Next part up is going to be the chorus, and it's played almost identically to the verse. You just don't have to palm mute anymore for this one. So same strumming pattern, same chords, just no palm mute. Sound like this. So again, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. The only part that changes is towards the end when he says, "And when she leaves, and you won't beg her not to go." So what he's doing there is after the end of that progression. So let's say you're ending on the D suspended 2nd to the A suspended 4th. It's going to sound like this. And when she leaves, you won't beg her not to go. Ask me how I know. And then you go back into the intro progression. So what you do is you do a B minor 7th chord, that variation I showed you. And you're going to strum down, down, down. And then you're going to switch to an A major chord. And I just use my index finger to bar the 2nd fret of the D, G, and B, and strum up, up, down, 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 up, and then switch to G and just do a down strum. Let it ring out, and then after he finishes saying go, you lightly strum a D suspended 2nd chord again. So a little bit slower, hopefully this makes sense. When she leaves and you won't beg her not to go, ask me how I know. So again, after you finish that part, you go right back into the intro progression with those hammer-ons and pull-offs. that's just pull-offs. So that's how you play the choruses all the way up into the end. Next part you have to learn is the ending of the second chorus and onto the bridge. So let's say we're ending on that second chorus, and then I'm going to play through the bridge, so you know which part I'm talking about. And when she leaves, you won't beg her not to go. Ask me how I know. And you best put this song on repeat. Maybe then you won't end up like me. So you play the ending of the chorus just like you did the first time, but when you get to the G, you're going to strum it out. It's going to go down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So you strummed out pretty much how you've been strumming all the chords this entire song. And then you're going to switch to a D suspended second, and you're going to do some quick down, up, down, up, and then mute strums. All I'm doing, down, up, and then I'm putting my palm on top of the strings to mute them. Then I'm going to switch to an A suspended fourth chord. Same thing. Now here might be a stretch for some people, so from that A suspended fourth chord, the way I play it, again, barring the second fret of the D, G, and B strings with the index finger, ring finger on the third fret of the B string, but you're going to need your pinky just for one transition into the bridge. So what you do is after that down, up, mute strum on the A suspended fourth, you put your pinky on the fourth fret of the A string, and you're going to strum down, take it off, and then strum up. To the bridge. Now the bridge uses a B minor chord, an actual regular B minor chord, so bar the second fret of the A through the high E strings with your index finger, middle finger on the second fret of the B string, third fret of the B string, pinky on the fourth fret of the G string, and ring finger on the fourth fret of the D string. If you want, you can still play that variation if that's easier for you. The B minor 7 variation, it'll still sound good. And the way this is played sounds like this. So we're going from B minor to A major to G, and then back to D suspended second. And the strumming pattern is again very similar. Down, 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 switch to A, up, up, down, 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 up, switch to G, down, switch to D suspended second. Up, up, down, 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 up. And then you repeat up to the G chord. You're going to let that ring out, and then you're going to go back to D suspended second, lightly strum, and then lightly strum, and A suspended fourth. So, maybe then you won't end up like me. Just like that. And then you're going to go into the chorus, but the first half you play palm muted like you did in the verse. There's the difference in the third chorus. So again, you play everything palm muted like you did in the verse up until that D suspended second chord. Down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up. Switch to D suspended second. Down, 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 and then quickly move to the 7th fret of all the strings. What you're going to do is lightly touch with any finger you want, whatever's easiest, and you're going to do an up strum. and that's how you get the harmonic. So I'm hoping you can see this. So I'm just lightly touching it. I'm not actually pressing down on anything, just barely touching it. And that's how you get the harmonic sound. So ending on that D suspended second. So I'm going to play it like I'm ending the chorus. And then you go back into the regular strum. After the ending of that last chorus, you're just going to strum the intro again. And that's how you play Ask Me How I Know.